Hello, Truth Seekers, Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, when you start to get interested in the spiritual journey, you will definitely come across this idea called opening the third eye or awakening the third eye. Now, what does it mean by awakening the third eye? It means awakening to our own true nature, which is the consciousness itself. Now, how to awaken to our true nature as consciousness, or how to open the third eye, is by tracing the ego backward. Ego means the mind. The process is about dissolving the mind. Dissolving the mind means dissolving our identification, which is our preference, our beliefs. We have to trace it back to its root on why we hold on to certain preference, certain belief, and dissolving the root altogether where there's no mind is left, no identification with the mind is left, where there's no idea is left. And that's the way to awaken the third eye, or seeing the true nature of who we are as consciousness. That's the journey. Now, here's the misunderstanding of the third eye in the world, especially in the yoga world and meditation world. People, to open the third eye, people focus between the eyebrows, thinking that's the third eye. That's where the third eye will open. We associate with this because in a certain culture, there's an eye between the eyebrows. So we naturally, copy that approach and focus between our eyebrows, eventually thinking that the process will open the third eye in us. So people are concentrating their energy between the eyebrows. They are focusing, they're concentrating their energy there, or concentrating at that point by softening the muscle, or visualizing something, especially the visualizing in light between the eyebrows. What people don't realize is that when you concentrate yourself between the eyebrows, is that your awareness, your conscious nature is actually being part of the game that you're playing. Our consciousness is resting. Our focus, the awareness, is resting there between the eyebrows. And the journey to open the third eye is not resting the awareness there, not resting the consciousness at that point and playing the game, but realizing the nature of the consciousness, not by being part of any layers, but dissolving all identification. Concentrating between the eyebrow itself is the idea, and participating on the idea with the visualization or concentrating on something that is holding on to the idea, holding on to the mind and focusing. So that itself is an outward journey. No doubt, focusing on the eyebrow, between the eyebrows, is focusing, concentrating at that point. You are, disciplining yourself from that. You're disciplining yourself not to get distracted. And when you focus on that point for hours and hours every day, you're conditioning in that, you are becoming that. And from this, from this work, you're getting a benefit in the world as well. When you're participating in the world, in the things that you do, you're able to focus on the things that you are involved with. When you're able to focus, and you start to see things, you start to organize things, and you're becoming productive, you're simplifying your life, you're becoming successful, and all those things. The good result, positive result is there from this practice. Any meditation practice, if you can prolong, you are becoming that. You're able to concentrate, you're able to sustain your focus, and you will become the same person outside in the world as well. Not just focusing between the eyebrows. Any meditation practice can help you become better. But freedom from the fear, freedom from the mind is not about becoming better. It's about dissolving the idea of becoming better as well. We have to dissolve that identification altogether. So when you start to see the positive result from the third eye practice or any meditation practice, you start to have this perception that the more focus is going to help you open the third eye. But that's just a delusion. That's just the ego playing another game in you, the idea coming in from the ego self to maintain the practice, especially when there's a positive result. The ego self in you makes you continue the practice. Here's my question for the people who have been being part of the meditation or a third eye practice. Are you able to dissolve your fear in your life? That's it. Are you able to dissolve the mental game in you? Are you able to not get affected by the mind and also by the world? Especially fear. Are you able to dissolve your fear in you from your third eye practice? The answer is no. If you're still continuing the practice, that means you're seeking for more. By the way, the spiritual practice eventually ends. And when it ends, the life itself becomes a meditation. You don't need a meditation. The spiritual practice ends when you see the truth. When the truth is seen, you are free. Free from your fear, free from your mind, free from all the drama that is happening in the world. You are free from that. Spiritual journey ends. The outward journey never ends. You always have to be part of the world to, continue your life until this body gives up. You still have to be part of the world. So it's a never-ending journey outside, including the meditation, certain meditation practice. It never ends. That's why the fear never ends. The real spirituality ends. It ends when you see the true nature of who you are as a consciousness. Another way to say is, opening the third eye. So, if you see what I'm saying, then it's time to do the real work, not just sitting in the meditation practice and focusing between the eyebrows. Yeah. It doesn't work, especially to awakening to your true nature. It doesn't work. It only works to be focused. If you're looking to be focused, yeah, do it. But no matter how much focused you are, the inner fear doesn't go away, isn't it? The conflict doesn't go away. The fight stays in us. And with that fight, we fight with the world. When you are fighting with the world, when this fight is urging within, what is that? The ego self is playing the game. That means we don't even know who we are. We're just listening to the ego and continuing our ego game in the world. And that is struggle, my friend. It's a never-ending struggle. So if you want to end the struggle in your life, if you want to be free from your fear, then it's time to trace the ego backward on why we hold on to the ego and why we fight with the ego, rather than just sitting in the meditation and focusing between the eyebrows. So, how to trace the ego or how to trace the mind? Here's a simple example. There's something that is happening in your life today, right? Whatever is happening as a friction or fight, resistance, right? Whatever is happening as a limitation, you ask yourself, why am I experiencing this? Because every experience leaves the idea in us, and the ego wants to prolong that mental drama, right? And that mental drama continue. So that means your life is being fluctuated by the experience. So you ask yourself, why this experience, whatever you experience you're going through, why am I fluctuated by this experience? Just sit with this. When you ask why, there's an answer for it, for this inquiry, because you are fluctuated by certain things. So when you are fluctuated, there is a deeper reason for being fluctuated. So when you ask yourself, why am I being fluctuated? Why this experience trigger me? Then there should be the answer. So this is the way, this inquiry, this why, asking why, is a simple inquiry to trace the mind backward, to figure out the root cause of our fluctuation that we are experiencing. So ask yourself why. No matter what answer comes in, by asking why, use the answer to deepen the inquiry, to trace your mind further backward. Why is this answer important? Stay with the why. No matter what answer resurface in your mind, with the inquiry, use the answer and ask, why do I have this? Or why is this important? This is the simple way to trace the mind backward. Any experience that we go through can be a tool to figure out the root cause of the fluctuation and eliminating the root altogether, if we learn to trace the mind backward, if we learn to trace our experience backward. That's the simple way to dissolve the mind, my friend. Concentrating in the body it's just helping you to run away from the life issue. It's only helping you to run away from your experience that you don't want to deal with. That's what's happening most of the time in the meditation. It's just running away. Running away just makes us numb in life. No matter how much you run, how much you hide, one thing you cannot run and hide from is your mind itself. Yes, you can run away from the world, physical world, but the physical world already puts an idea in us, and the idea is there. No matter where you run, where you hide, the idea is still there, and you are having a hard time to dissolve that idea, isn't it? You know, if you are having a hard time to dissolve the idea, that's the sign that you don't know who you are. And the real spiritual journey is about figuring out the truth of who we are. And another name today we're using is, awakening the third eye. So trace your mind backwards. Simple journey. You don't need a special journey. You don't need to hold hand with the guru and walk with the guru. This is the only journey that is inward, backward, individual journey. No other individual can help you to make you see the truth. Truth is already in you as consciousness. And right now you don't see yourself as a consciousness is because you are distracted by the mind, because the mind has become the reality right now. And that's why we are the mind right now. And because of that, there's so much suffering, so much fear in our lives. And until you figure out the truth of who you are, until you awaken your third eye by dissolving the mind, the fear will continue, the drama will continue, the conflict will continue, and the suffering will continue. So it depends on you how much you want to suffer. You want to continue your suffering, or you want to be free? And to be free, you have to do the work on yourself in dismantling the mind. Okay, so that's all in this video. I hope this video makes sense. Again, opening the third eye means dissolving the ego self in oneself. It's not by sitting and concentrating between the eyebrows and hoping the eye will open. That's just the illusion. That is just the practice that is copy and paste. Copy and paste that we actually inviting from outside. So anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye.